What's up, everybody? Demon back, and today, or tonight, I'm going to be doing my review on X-Men Apocalypse.
Well, you've been busy.
We had a little help.
Yeah, it was okay as far as X-Men movies go. It was on the better side. I mean, in comparison to like the MCU, these X-Men movies, they don't really stack up all that well. They're not that great, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. This is my review, my opinion. You know how it is. Yeah, what X-Men movies did I like? First Class was an amazing movie, had amazing music, was just great. Great characters, great everything. What other ones were good? Deadpool, if you consider that part of the X-Men series, that's by far my favorite of the Fox Marvel movies. Deadpool has amazing replay. Here's the thing that I find with a lot of these X-Men movies. I watch them in theaters and I like them. I found myself enjoying them a lot. I go home and think about them and think they're great, and then the very next time I watch them, I don't like them at all. That's just what I've noticed. And Deadpool's different. Deadpool I bought and watched. I'm on my 4th time watching it now, so that one's good. Yeah. Go check that one out. I rated it really low, in my opinion, in my review of it. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I'm going to bump that up to a 4.5 out of 5 right here. Yeah, go watch Deadpool. Better than this movie. X-Men Apocalypse. Now, yeah, it was an okay movie. I think I'll give it a rating. I think I'll give it this one. Yeah, I'll just give it a 3.5 out of 5, just like Deadpool originally, but I have better reasons for it here. There were more things that I liked than disliked, but that's not to say it didn't have its problems, because it definitely did. CG was good most of the time. Sometimes it looked very fake. Sometimes you could tell they were on a green screen or in front of a green screen. Some of the special effects didn't hold up, but you know, then there were good ones, like a scene we'll get into later at the X Mansion was pretty good. So there were good scenes, there were bad scenes. Altogether, the story was easy enough to follow. So yeah, there was more good than bad to this movie. I found myself liking a lot more than I disliked it. So. But once again, I don't know how this replay value will hold up. I thought Days of Future Past was an amazing movie the first time I saw it. Now I don't think it's all that good. So we'll just see in the future. Also, if I ramble on a lot and I'm like typically slow in this video, it's pretty late. So that's why. So, let's get into the plot synopsis. This review won't last long. The Civil War review I did was like 30 minutes. This one hopefully won't be. Hopefully like 10, 15, 20 maybe. I don't know. So let's start out. We start out in Egypt, where we get the creation of Apocalypse. That was pretty cool. The way that it was like Apocalypse passes himself down from person to person, or from mutant to mutant, and that's how he like accumulates abilities. I thought that was pretty cool. And it's like a suit or something that peels off of him and then goes on to the next person who takes his body. It's pretty cool. So we get to Egypt, the creation of Apocalypse, and then people try and assassinate him during the mending, like the crossing of people, or from Apocalypse's consciousness from one person to another. People try to assassinate him. It winds up the pyramid that he's in collapses, and he's buried until the 80s. That's a problem. Alright, I'm going to bring this up now because I'm going to forget it later. Not that part is the problem. What's the problem is that it doesn't feel like 10 years have passed. It doesn't feel like the world has gone on for 10 years since the last one, in my opinion. Quicksilver is doing the exact same thing we left him off doing, playing video games in his mom's basement. Professor X is doing the same thing we left him off doing, recruiting people for well, I guess he does that his whole life, but it just seems like not enough has happened for it to be 10 years. Just get that out of the way. So then Apocalypse is revived, or he wakes up, and then he starts recruiting people. So then the chick from First Class, who Professor X wiped her memory of him at the end of the movie, the love interest, don't know her name. She's in this one again, and Professor X goes to see her because she knows information about Apocalypse, so then she joins the team for this movie. Magneto. Now we get into his story. He is my favorite. He's my favorite X-Men character. He's so good. Well, I mean, once again, unless you include Deadpool, because he's great. But Magneto is awesome. And in this movie, they really play up the emotions with him, man. You really feel... He's a very sympathetic, tragic character, at least in this storyline. I'm not sure about the other universes, how much of tragic he was. He was more of just racist against Homo sapiens. So this time around, Magneto, he decided to actually listen to Charles Xavier. He decided to put all the mutant stuff behind and just live a life. He had a wife and a kid, and his kid had, like, who was it? Cinderella? No, not Cinderella. Snow White? She the one who got dressed with the animals? The kid has, like, Snow White powers, right? I think that's a princess. I'm not good with princesses. Where she can, like, talk to animals and communicate with them, and it's great. And then a mishap happens at the place where Magneto works, where he has to save a man's life using his powers, revealing himself to be Magneto, and because of what happened in Days of Future Past when he held up the president on live TV, he is hated. And so the police come to kill him, and they actually wind up killing his family instead. And then he kills the police and decides that he'll be a monster from there on out, because if he tried to be good and his family died, that means that he just isn't meant to be good. So at this point, Apocalypse has already recruited a few other people, Storm, two others, Psylocke and Archangel he recruited. Then he gets Magneto, and they're off on their way. Oh, yeah. Okay, I was looking and I didn't know what I meant by horsemen. See, I'm tired. I forget that the four horsemen is what Apocalypse called his men. Yeah, so from here Professor X is taken. Apocalypse uses him to... He basically taps into Cerebro, launches every nuke in the world into the air. They all just sit there in space. How are they going to clean that up? Magneto's going to have to, like, shoot them off in different directions. So, yeah, Professor X is taken, and he's being used because Apocalypse is planning on using his body for the next Apocalypse in order to gain his mutant abilities. Quicksilver then comes because Havoc gets angry that Apocalypse is in the X-Mansion. He fires his Havoc beam. It hits a wall, goes through the wall, hits an exploding thing, and the X-Mansion just explodes. So then we get another Days of Future Past reminiscent Quicksilver scene that was a lot better, a lot longer, a lot funnier, sort of. Scene where Quicksilver runs through the house and has to rescue everyone. Although he misses Havoc, he dies. RIP. Yeah, Havoc was one of my favorites from First Class, although then he disappeared in Days of Future Past, and by then I had already forgotten about him and stopped caring, so I wasn't sad when he died. I was more sad when Banshee died, because that guy was awesome. Banshee died. We never saw it happen. It was a ripoff. Anyways, moving on. So Quicksilver rescues everyone, then Quicksilver Jean Grey, Nightcrawler. They all go to the Weapon X facility, whatever it's called, in order to rescue um, Mystique, the FBI agent chick from Days of Future Past, or not from Days of Future Past, from First Class. I'm tired. I'm sorry. And who else was in that room with them? There was two others. Beast, he was there. There was one other. Cyclops, there you go. That's all of them. No, wait. Cyclops is on the outside. Cyclops is on the outside. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't care. So that all happens. That's all great. They unleash Wolverine. Yeah, that was spoiled in the trailer. They unleash him, he runs through there, kills every guard in the whole facility, and then Jean Grey taps into his mind, gives him a little bit of memory back, and then he runs away. This is, I mean, I don't even know if that was real Hugh Jackman. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. If you guys remember back to Terminator Salvation, they had like the CGI body double for Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's what I think happened here, because Hugh Jackman, if he was in the movie, didn't have any lines of spoken dialogue, so yeah, he just ran around killing people and then ran away. He also looked a lot different. That could have just been because of the facial hair. So he's released, and yeah, then everyone gets free because Cyclops shoots down a wall and rescues them, and then they all leave. The ending battle then happens from here. They go to Egypt, fight Apocalypse, and then the Four Horsemen fight the other X-Men, and it's okay. It's an okay battle. I don't care anymore at this point in time when I see like the world's in danger, unless it's a movie that I'm really invested in and I invest in the characters. I'm more of personal interest. Like, I don't care if the world's at stake, honestly. Too big of a scale. I like small scale, like Civil War, small scale, that end battle between Cap, Iron Man, and Bucky. Really personal, had me on the edge of my seat, had my heart racing. This movie did not. I just sat there and watched it. So it's sad. I guess I'm just a little numb to movies. You know, unless Godzilla's in them, unless Rick Grimes is in them, unless it's a well-established universe that I like. Probably not going to get into it, but then again, there's exceptions. How many times do I have to mention? Deadpool's a good movie. Go check it out. Alright, so yeah, that's the movie. That's the plot. They take down Apocalypse. Everyone who's a horseman turns on, well, I guess two of the horsemen turn on Apocalypse and kill him. The other one, Archangel, dies. Good. That guy was a jerk. Jerk face in part 3, jerk face in this one. No, he was fine. He was okay. I liked him in the beginning when they were in the fight pit. I liked him then. Storm and Magneto both become good guys. God dang it. I'll talk about that in a minute. So they both become good guys. I'm going to wrap this up quicker than I wanted to just because my camera's going to run out of space. I need a new one. God dang it. Why do I have such a bad train of thought? Okay, Psylocke at the very end, then she runs away and she's a bad guy. Now, this is clearly set up for a future movie. That sucks because I don't want to have to wait for a future movie to see the end result of that. I feel like if Deadpool were there, he'd just shoot her in the head. Go watch Deadpool. How many times do I have to say it? Alright, so let's get into the characters really fast. Professor X, great as always. I love this new guy who plays him. I don't remember his name. I'm too tired to remember any of their names. Professor X is good. I like him a lot. This new actor who's been playing him for the past 3 movies. He's really good. He's really likable. I like him with hair more than I like him bald. Just saying. I know it's stuck to the character, but screw that, right? Yeah, he doesn't look good bald. Magneto, great as always. God, Magneto's just, like I already said, he's one of my favorites. He's amazing. Beast is okay, he's there. Nightcrawler, really funny. I really enjoy Nightcrawler. He's one of my favorite X-Men. Quicksilver, he's good. I like Marvel main Marvel's Quicksilver a lot better. I know not a lot of people do, but that's just because of my personal preference for Aaron Taylor Johnson. Cyclops, he's good. Doesn't compare to the old one, in my opinion. I honestly think that maybe, I haven't seen the movie in a long time, but possibly the kid from X-Men Origins was better than this one. I don't know. All I know is that this one did his job. He was Cyclops. I liked him enough. Actually, think I didn't give Magneto enough credit. He was great in this movie. He, like I said, the only time I ever actually felt something during this movie, pretty much, was during his scenes. I really like him. Apocalypse, he was okay. He was just big evil villain to be a big evil villain. His motivation was he wants mutants in the world, so basically Magneto's motivation in the original trilogy, he wants them to be dominant. Yeah, Mystique. This is where I have my problems. See, going into this movie, I had heard from tons of people, Jennifer Lawrence doesn't turn blue enough. She's just Jennifer Lawrence because she's marketable. And I was like, it can't be that bad. It honestly can't. I think there was like 3 times she turned into blue. 3 times in the whole movie. Maybe out of like the 20 minutes of screen time it felt like she was blue 3 or 4 of them. Yeah, there were some problems there. It was annoying. If she was supposed to be... Then she kept giving these speeches about if you can't control your powers, don't. You need to be free. You need to unleash blah, 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 blah. And then it's like, then why don't you turn blue? Yeah, there were a couple plot holes in this movie. It was like... I don't know. Here's one, for example. In Days of Future Past, Charles Xavier reads Wolverine's mind. He sees everything Wolverine's seen his entire life. This includes the events of X-Men 3, when Jean Grey turns into the Phoenix and kills everybody. And gets killed. And then Charles Xavier lets Jean Grey read his mind. So wouldn't she see that at one point? So wouldn't she know that she's going to go evil? Wouldn't she be afraid to go evil? In this, she just mentions, I feel fire in me, which is just dumb when she turns into an actual phoenix at the end, which is retarded. She turns into like a big fire phoenix, just appears behind her, and it's ridiculous. Jazz hands. Yeah. What else? What else about this that I found plot holes in? Wolverine's origins being completely freaking different again. Yeah, I don't even know what they were doing with him in that cage. But at least he's got metal claws again. Okay, what else? I don't know. What other plot holes? There are multiple. I don't care. Mystique, yeah. She should have been blue more. That's it. She was okay. Storm, yeah. She was there. Didn't serve much to the plot. Archangel, he was good, like I mentioned. He was kinda just... he was good in the cage fight. I found him likable right off the bat. And then he became not likable right off the bat. Psylocke, she was also another character that was just there. Maybe in the future sequels that'll take place probably in the 90s, if these take place 10 years apart every time, somehow no time passes between them. She'll be there again, she'll be a bad guy again, probably. I could be way wrong, I don't know. I don't care. So let's talk about this. Does it work as a standalone movie? Definitely not, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. I've seen all the other X-Men movies. I don't know anyone who hasn't, so I couldn't really tell you as a definitive yes or no answer. But what I can tell you is it definitely felt like a sequel to... Hold on, let me yawn. Okay, there you go. It definitely felt like a sequel to Days of Future Past and First Class, which it definitely was. Also, I want to bring up like a meta moment in this. a joke that they made when they were talking about Empire Strikes Back, and they said, and Return of the Jedi and all that, and they said that the third movie is always the worst, and it was clearly a stab at X-Men 3, but this is the third in the reboot trilogy, and this one was by far the worst. It was just boring. There was pacing issues. It was, I don't know. I didn't find this movie very likable. Like I said, I liked it more than I didn't like it, but at the end of the day, I didn't like it. Sort of. I don't know. I had really mixed feelings on this movie. I'm split. So does it work alone? I don't think so. I think you have to go see the other movies first. Now versus Deadpool. Deadpool being the most recent in this series that came out. Does this movie compare to it? Absolutely not. Not even close. I know they're trying to be different things. Deadpool's a comedy, horror kind of. I only say horror just because the over-exaggerated gore in it. It's not even that over-exaggerated, just more blood than we're used to. This movie had more blood than I'm used to in an X-Men movie. Not that I'm not used to blood. I mean, they celebrate Friday the 13th like it's Christmas every year. I'm used to blood. I'm just saying. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have called Deadpool horror. Never mind. Deadpool is just a comedy action movie. There you go. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. No, it doesn't even compare it close. It's not even near close. I mean, this movie was trying to be an action movie with some hints of comedy. Deadpool was a comedy movie with some hints of action, only because they couldn't get the budget for it. How many times did I mention Deadpool in this video? That's the real question. If you want, go back and watch this. I might be like, yo, you're great, guy. You don't exist, but you're great. Because you knew how many times I mentioned how great Deadpool was. Deadpool. Is that enough times? Good. So, X-Men Apocalypse. Good-ish movie. That's my official grade for it. Good-ish movie. 3.5 out of 5. Yeah, go check it out now before, I don't know, just go watch it at some point, I guess. I think you should probably watch this before Civil War because it can't compare to Civil War either. If you've already seen Civil War, then you probably feel like I do. Have a good night, guys. D-Man.